Hi everybody, my name is Attila Marosi and I work for Sophos. This is my first confidence conference, but I like it so much. Thank you to having me. So in this presentation, I would like to change my hat. I work for a security company, but I would like to not represent, but thinking with a criminal mind and find the solution and the way how can operate. So if I were a criminal, I would be a lazy one. I don't want to work so much, but I want good money. That's the purpose to choose this way of working. And what I have to keep in my mind that to keep this business running, I have to hide my ass, keep my identity hide and fly under the radar. So I need a solution to keep this business running, and also I don't want to waste too much energy and time to develop solutions and things because I'm lazy. So a couple of stories what could be good to learn about it, and criminals also checking the news and other criminals, which could be a good way, a good solution to steal with each other and to learn about it. So a couple of years back, there was the Karna project. It was not a criminal one, but a very interesting one, when researchers create a worm to find open devices all around the internet and modify them through telnet connection and the possibility it provides them, and add new features to the open devices to be able to scan the whole internet within a very short time. I think the final result was 20 minutes, which was very good time yeah, it was a very good result on that time. So it was a project when researchers, criminals could use low-hanging fruits, open devices all around the net. So they are just listening, waiting for you, and they had the capabilities to add some features to serve you in a way you would like. And as you can see, there are researchers and criminals who like it and take it this way. So a more recent one, the Mirai botnet, which was also an IoT stuff and also very interesting. They build a very strong network using very cheap and creepy devices and creating a very, very powerful botnet. And yeah, I think I fed up. So what's the problem in my perspective? That these projects are too complex for me. It has to develop a control server. You have to create you have to organize them, you have to create some business solutions, because if you have many devices you can control, okay, how make money, how I can turn into money. It's difficult. So building botnets, it's not as easy. So I need a more easy way to earn good money. So and my vision is that I would like to work a couple of days, and $2 million will be enough for me. It's a good rate. As you will see, it works. So my first lucky vendor, I just cover it not to be too rude. So it provides gadget to build SCADA systems or things you would like to. You can join together, and it provides you a very easy way to control them and to create very complex systems, as you will see. So you just buy these things and build together. For example, there is a vendor who creates this product, the night shift, when you can add this little gadgets to the lamp, and you can control with the lamps with one control gadget, and you can turn the lights as you would like to. You can add sensors to it to track the night moves. For example, someone walking on the road and the lights is just halfly used, and when someone reaches the dedicated lamps, the light is more powerful, so you can decrease the energy you waste, for example, in an empty street, or whatever you would like to. So if you use senses, you know that how the open page looks like, you can find easily a couple of key devices which are listening on the internet. If the guys or the vendor who apply and install the device does not change the device and using default settings, the device is fully open. And if you open the IP address, you can get the full dashboard and you can control the device. So as you can see, this is one lucky IP address I just checked, and as you can see, the magic is that it has a Python framework on the little gadget, and you just write some script to control the whole system. So if you are able to write Python scripts, you can control these devices. And there is a file configuration and the Python 5 menu where you can upload your script and you can take over the device. Yeah, so as you can see, there were a couple of guys who trying, just the script language was not proper because it was a PHP, but as you can see, it could be easily controlled. And because it has a mobile stuff, and the mobile stuff has cell IDs and cell informations, you easily find the device with these informations. So for example, this lucky one was somewhere here. The cell information is not very accurate, but it's if you have the control over the device, just turn off and on, and you can find it very easily. So the next one is the dedicated micro, which is a vendor who provides big systems for stadium, for big place to control with cameras and to aggregate all the records into a big box and provide some historical records for security purpose. So again, if you know the banner, you can search it and you will find that there are two types of dedicated micro stuff. One requires a username that not use the default settings, and below is the default settings where you got a prompt immediately. If you filled just for the open device, you will see that roughly one key device is listening and waiting for you. So what you get if you open a device with a telnet, whatever you would like to. You can change the device as you would like to, the data of it. But what if you open it with FTP? As you can see, then there are some backdoors already uploaded, because if you open the device with default credential, you have write access on the device with anonymous access. There is the malware, that was the biggest part of my presentation. This is my favorite. And as you can see, the web interface also listed there. So you can change the web dashboard. You can upload any files and update it. So you can change the firmware of the device through the FTP with anonymous login. Brilliant. So as you can see, roughly 20% of the device used be the default credential, and 90% already infected with malware. But yeah, and I have a third lucky vendor is the Seagate, which is a NOS. In this situation, this is a NAS, which has a design flow. The problem is that with the dashboard, you are able to create users with password. So the users with username and password can reach their own folders. So you could think that I have a protected folder. I can offer my devices to the internet because my folder can be reached by my username and password. But the problem is that there is a default public folder with anonymous access, which you are not able to turn off. So if you put the device to the internet, there will be one account which will be available on the internet for anyone, and this is the public folder. So with this, if you put the device, and as you can see, roughly 400 devices on the internet is listed and listening currently, means that you have roughly 800 terabytes free cloud. You can use it because there is no restriction, and the smallest device is 2 terabytes, so that's the amount of space you have. And if you log in to the device, you will see that the malminer C is also there. Roughly all of the Seagate devices listed and have this malware already. So, what is malminer C? Sorry. So malminer C is a mining malware. Couple of years back, miner application and malware was very public story, but these malwares tries to mine Bitcoin, and currently the difficulty of the Bitcoin is too high to worse to mine Bitcoin on ordinary PCs. So there are dedicated devices and stuff to make it Bitcoin. But Monero is a new stuff. It's, as you can see, released and created in 2014, and it has very good things that the difficulty is very low, so a normal PC can earn and can produce Monero for you. If you have a GPU, a video card on it, it could be more efficient. And it's a cryptocurrency, so it provides more privacy protections for the users of it. So it's a very good choice for criminals, and it brings a new golden era for miners. There are new variant of not WannaCry, but the exploit behind the WannaCry is used by new miners to spreading in a way that WannaCry do. So how it looks like. This malware, I think, was created within a couple of days maximum. It's an ANSYS application. I think all of you already used ANSYS, not created, but used because it's very popular for installing applications. It's a script language where you can list the things you would like to perform when you, for example, install something, creating folders, copying stuff, downloads things from the internet. It's a very easy language to use. In malminer, there are a couple of files which brings with the dropper. There are stack components, so the developer of the malware has no efforts on this. These are community stuff, so there is no developer cost on it. So the only thing you had to do is just creating the droppers and start it on a user machine. The tricky part is the icon of the application is a folder icon. So if someone who uses the Windows machine with default settings, when the known extensions are hide, you will see just the the file which names image. So if you would like to see the content of the folder, you will double click on it. And as you can see, many users was misled with this very old and creepy stuff. Not all instance, but a couple of has an additional file, the FTP exe, which just caring about the spreading process when just generating a random IP address tries to log in with anonymous users and place a instance to the device which was just reached. So how it looks like? If there is a infected machines, it's just generating the random IP address. If find, for example, an open FTP, Seagate or something, just copying an instance of the FTP inside the network. Someone just click on it because they would like to know that what images folder contents, and just start it. If you launch it, it just tries to copy one instance to all mapped folder what the PC knows. So if there is other network attached folders, it will spread all over the network. But it's also a couple of lines on ANSYS. So it's a very dummy spreading process, but it works very good, very well. So after the application was launched, it just retrieved this file, decrypted, and these are the hashes what the mining is counted. So if you start a miner, you always have to provide a wallet, a hash, and your production, your effort will be counted with this hash. So if you know this hash, you can control the effort and the value what was produced by the malware. So let's speak about the money. So we have the hashes, and we are very lucky because the threat actor used the Monero pool, and if you have the hashes, Monero pool will brings you and give you the results of the efforts, the results of the hash. So if we, as you can see, that you just provide the hash and you will get that how much money was paid for the criminals and how strong the network behind the hashes, how much hash could be counted per sec. So if you collect all the hashes, you will be able to generate all the information, get all the information that how much money was paid for the criminals and how powerful the network they have. It's a unique case for us. There were no case like this when we have so exact information about how much money can produce with these stuff. So according to the gathered information, the the network has 9 kilo hash per sec, which means that they can produce roughly $1 million per year with this, which is not bad as a monthly salary. Also something good. So this threat is roughly 1.5 years old, mostly untouched. So someone just write it and start it and let it go. It's good. And as you can see, the money they can earn is $200 to the $3 million without any effort, just collecting the stuff and letting to spread. So after that, we just thinking that, okay, if FTP has such a value or something, we thought that we can forget it, but no, there are malwares which are spreading through through FTP and using this way. So we should know then how much IP address and how much devices could be involved, and how difficult, how big is the problem. So we created a test, download the initial data from Census, that how much FTP service listening all over the world, creating a test case about how could we check that how many open in a write access way. So just open it, log in with anonymous access, and tries to write something on it to check it is it open or not, and at least the result. So that was the process I do, that check all over the IP addresses, but I fed up very soon. So I just developed a framework, because this to test a bunch of IP address in some way is something we frequently needed. So we needed a system to be able to check a blob of IP addresses. So that's the scanner framework, when we can pop up a question that, okay, give me the IP address which related with FTP. That's my test case in a Python file, which just a couple of lines, and do the test and check it and bring the results to me. So the result, the initial data, all around the internet there are 12 million IP addresses which related with FTP. We didn't want to test all of them, so we just test 3.5 million, which is it's representative. So the result, 91% is restricted. So you can log in to the FTP if you know at least one right credential, username and password. There are 9% where anonymous user can log in, which is not bad. If you just log in, retrieve stuff, it's very good way to distribute some public stuff. But there is 0.4% where you have the write access on the device. How many is it? So as you can see, all over the internet, we currently we have 10 key IP addresses where you have the possibility to just copy something there and let it spread, and or just use it as a free cloud. And there are so many devices which contains and repeatedly have new encrypted files, and no one knows that what these are files. So if you would like to store something, just copy over 10 key FTP server. Maybe there will be one live after a day or a month, so it will be a good place to store data. And tracking who, if you would like to communicate and you would like to just put something there, and in a other way just grab it, it's very difficult to find how the data transferred. So if you use this ration for the 12 million, that means that 40 key IP addresses all over the world and 40 key FTP server just waiting for you to store something. And yeah, I know there are a couple of honeypots, but maybe it's a little more. So, okay, there are 40 keys which can be write. We check the files what are listed on the FTP servers where anyone has write access. What kind of files are there? And 70% already infected with one, at least one malware, the malware C, and 23% have some files which related to some test or hack or content. There are many scanners with just placing PHP and FTP, HTML files, and then they just tries to grab it and check that the FTP folder and the service, Apache Nginx or anything which serves the web part is connected, because it's provide them more possibility. So only 9% which is not touched or didn't have the symptoms, but I think it's just a matter of time to know it, or to reach it by some criminal and use it for that purpose. So, final thoughts. As you can see, $2 million and more than $2 million could be earned with these lazy ways. That the malwares, for example, WannaCry is very fancy, and but if you check how much money they earn, it's not reached that part, and it's much sophisticated. They cause very big harm and damage, but the money they can earn with it is far more less. So some lazy stuff could be much more efficient than this very noisy one. And as you can see that these are the lazy malwares, but what if it's this strategy used and criminals use more effort to use this way? It could be much difficult. And as usual, this malware would have stopped and blocked by very basic security prevention and then things like some security products, or just using the right settings with FTP to stop the spreading process. So, questions, if you have any. No.
I've seen you've been scanning IP addresses of US citizens or companies. Aren't you afraid of being prosecuted?
No.
Okay.
Was there any attempt to try to figure out who is behind this? Like, was there any attempt to withdraw money or transfer any of those coins that were mined by this malware that you are aware of?
In Monero, there is no chance to track how the money goes. The stuff they used, as you saw, that there was a Russian site which provide the hashes, the wallet data, and other stuff. These are Russian stuff, but it could be just because that part of the world could be good place to be hide, but it doesn't mean that they are Russians.
Okay. I couldn't get it at the start of the presentation. Is this one kind of IP camera that is infected, or what? So,
which one?
What is infected with this malware? Like, is this one kind of device, or?
This malware is spreading through FTP. So all the device which has FTP and lets anyone to log in and place something there could be involved. One which was spotted by us was the dedicated micro,
Okay.
but it doesn't mean that they are infected. They hosting the malware, So in here, the dedicated micro hosting this malware, the instance of the malware, and if someone open it and for example attach the folder to a Windows PC and double click on it, so launch it, which is it needs many steps, and you think that okay, no one will map it and double click and there is no product will block it or something, but as you can see there are enough machines and key user who double click on it and let it run, and the network is the network is still growing. It's the most I think all the antivirus companies who worth to mention have identities for this malware more than a year or more. So, but it's still growing, and still the network is just growing. So there are keen users. Any more?
Does this malware require administrative privileges to run, or?
No. It's just running and then calculating numbers, and that's the way how they produce the money. So it's not stealing something, just the power of your machines.
And how does it send these hashes to the
Through the
collector?
network.
Yeah, but through FTP or through HTTP?
No, it's TCP connection port. I don't know what is the default, but I think, yeah, through CFC, as you can see.
Okay.
So if you have the possibilities to communicate with the mining pool, it will send. It will get the blob information, which has to be calculated, and after the calculation it will send back, and the pool will count that, okay, thank you for your job, it's worth for us some money, and that's how the money creates.